Okay. Here what we have laid out in front of us is what's going to comprise basically the bulk of the build. A really good motherboard, a good processor, and RAM. This is set to be a really balanced gaming system. The Core i5, because it's very affordable and very powerful for what it is. This is the, again, Natalie said it was the Core i5 3570K LG1155. This is the unlocked processor, built on the 22 nanometer manufacturing process, meaning it's going to take less electricity and stay a little bit cooler. Packing more transistors too. The motherboard is from AsRock, and AsRock recently has really stepped up the game, because for roughly about $175 you get a very high-end motherboard. AsRock is, I believe, is a division or a offshoot of Asus. And a little bit on the back of it, AsRock this is a PCI Express 3.0 interface for the graphics slots. So it has 4 DIMMs that support a total of 32 gigs of RAM, I believe, or maybe 64, I can't remember off the top of my head. But it does support RAM and overclocked to 2800 megahertz, and that's pretty impressive. Very impressive, actually. Premium solid gold caps that theoretically have a life of 10 years, and they're digi-power, meaning it's very good in power. Regulates V-core, CPU V-core voltage very tightly. 8+4 power phase design, and it is a ATX motherboard, crossfire SLI capable. And we're just going to look through it real quick. Most people, I mean, go through the products. You get your I/O board or your I/O shield. I'm not exactly sure why this is included. It looks like a static bag. There is something that AsRock does believe they actually their XFast USB. I believe this is for their USB features. XFast LAN, XFast RAM. I haven't tried the two new features. We'll do more of a detailed analysis once we get together. And you get your setup software guide, quick install, and it's multilingual, I believe. Yes, it is multilingual. You have your driver CD, but let's take a look at the board itself, which is what the most important thing. Of course, we have SATA cables. They only give you 2 SATA cables, it seems. So, you know, should have given you 4, but so this is the first time we're taking it out. In terms of packaging, it's not really packaged as. It's nice that they put styrofoam around it, but it's also kind of awkward. Usually they have a box underneath it. But let's go through the features of it. So you do see 4 DIMMs here. The South Bridge. And here we go. The SATA 3 ports, SATA 2 ports, onboard, reset power button. You have your LED debug. You have two USB front panel headers. You have your HD audio, and I can't actually see the USB. Oh, there we go. The USB 3 header here. So, an 8-pin power connector. It does have a VGA and HDMI and DVI on board, which is nice. The processor does have video built in. So, USB 3.0, eSATA, USB 2, and your HD audio. Combo PS2 header here, and 2 more USB 3.0. It does look nice for what, especially you get a lot of features for the price. So this will be the core of the system, and I'm just going to set that actually back here. The RAM is from G-Skill, and this is the Sniper series RAM. Basically, you just get different heat shield. It has like, but we can open it actually. So G-Skill RAM is really nice, very stable. They have great warranty and pretty good customer service, and I feature most of my computers feature this RAM or G-Skill RAM. So it is the F3 1700 CL11D 8 gig set. So it can run at 2133 at a timing case latency of 11:11:30 at 1.6 volts. So this motherboard should be able to run that RAM at that speed. The processor itself, and the processor is your typical Intel fare processor packaging and everything like that. The fan they give you is pretty sad. Looking at a lot of the benchmarks for CPU heat, even at idle at full load, this stock fan is so bad. You definitely want to upgrade it if you can, and you don't want to upgrade it if you. There we go. I'm gonna cut myself. Okay. And I'll show you, and for those of you who've never seen it, you can see it. So basically, this is how it's packaged. Pretty green packaging. You got your Core i5. You have your badge here. But the processor itself is put in here, and here's the processor. Let's see. And so the new processor built on the 22 nanometer manufacturing process, and the fan is pretty small, and yeah, it's pretty sad. Pre-applied thermal paste, but it does not. If you're not overclocking it, go ahead. Otherwise, right when you build the computer, you should put a pretty good cooler on there, because unless you have a good case with a big cutout for the retention plate, you have to take the motherboard out of the case, take off all the wiring, and then your graphics card and everything, and then install a CPU cooler. So this is the CPU cooler that'll be going into this this build. This is the Cooler Master. I can't remember the exact model name right off the bat, but it is a fairly small cooler, meaning it's not too high, not too wide, but it is set up in a push-pull configuration, which does help in the cooling quite a bit. And I actually, this has been applied once onto a computer, and I'm going to take off the bottom retention plate so you can see what the cooler looks like. This cooler doesn't feature direct contact heat pipes. The heat pipes go into direct contact of a plate, a copper plate here. So, but it does do a good job for what it is, and it should support a fairly decent overclock. So, thanks for watching our little unboxing video and of the core components of Natalie's new computer. And our next video will be her graphics card, which is pretty cool, and her power supply, which is very important. Never skimp out on the power supply. So any questions or comments, please place them in the comments.